Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Shin Before Sin. On today's episode, we are talking all about Jewish celebrities. Now you may be thinking, what about them? There are so many Jewish celebrities. Well, today we are talking about a few unknown Jewish celebrities, the famous folk that will make your jaws drop when you hear that they are Jewish. Let's begin with Harrison Ford. Yep, you heard it right. The man behind iconic characters such as Han Solo and Indiana Jones is a fellow member of the Jew crew. According to an article published by thejc.com, Harrison Ford is 78% Jewish. His mother was Jewish, making him Jewish by traditional standards, and his grandparents were Jewish immigrants from Minsk. Also, in an interview with a member of the Irish press, Ford claims to be a mix of both Irish and Jewish.
A lot of celebrities who are Jewish don't really embrace their Judaism as much as they should.
Or just don't show it.
Yeah.
Interesting, right?
Indiana Jones was Jewish. It's pretty cool.
I think it's interesting that most of the roles that he has played, especially the ones that he's famous for, aren't Jewish.
I know, in one of the movies of Indiana Jones, there is a scene where he was watching from afar. It was Nazis burning Torahs on the Night of Broken Glass. So, might have some relationship to his religion.
It might have been easier for him to show the emotion due to his connection to the religion and his connection to that event. So, who's next?
Well, next we have Mila Kunis. You may not have known that Mila Kunis is Jewish, but she grew up in Russia until she was 7 when her parents moved her family to the U.S. Her parents instilled Jewish values as best as they could living in Russia. When they moved to the U.S., she attempted to embrace her Jewishness more fully. According to IMDb.com, she has Ashkenazi Jewish ancestry on both sides of her family. Ashkenazi is a term that you may not know, but it means that you are a Jew from Europe.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. My brother, for Hanukkah, he got a 23andMe test, which is a DNA test showing where your ancestors are from, and I'm 99.8 Ashkenazi Jew.
Which is
impressive.
Funny because, a lot of Jews typically tend to kind of embrace that fact, and I think that it's super interesting that maybe Mila Kunis hasn't tried to hide it, but nobody would have ever known she is Jewish because she's played roles such as Mexican roles, and she's played Iranian roles.
A lot of Jews don't get cast in Jewish roles. I think if there are a lot of Jews available to be cast, a Jew should be cast, especially if they know the background better, and if they know the material, it even makes them a better actor. So.
Yeah, off that note, another celebrity that lots of people may not know is Jewish is Aubrey Drake Graham. The mega hit rapper who goes by his middle name, Drake, is surprisingly Jewish. And it's no brush off the shoulder, as Drake has even used a music video to embrace his Judaism. If you aren't one of the 44 million people who have watched the music video for HYFR on YouTube, it casts Drake in a tallis and a kippah, bowing his head as he reads from the Torah, then cuts to him throwing a crazy re-bar mitzvah. The opening title reads, "Young women giggle on the laps of old men, and Drake sings hell yeah, while being lifted for the horror, smashing a Torah cake, and smoking pot in the synagogue." Quite some mashugana, if you ask me. In the video, Drake shows the importance of Judaism in his life, but also adapts Jewish tradition to fit his lifestyle and career as a rapper.
Now, while he may be embracing his Judaism, I would like to point out that I don't think it's a very good example of Judaism, just because if you're smoking pot in a synagogue, especially in a music video that he knows millions upon millions of people are going to see, I don't think it's the best way to embrace your Judaism or to show it off, because I just don't think it sets a very good example or gives a very good view of other people on Judaism.
In a way, I disagree with that, because I think he's using that for comedy purposes. He was portraying that the Jewish thing was just an extra bit that he added on to the music video. Knowing that he's a rapper, people could understand that it is a music video and that you could be taking it as a joke that he's doing that.
Drake is super candid about his religion, and I think he is one of the only Jewish celebrities that kind of shows his religion to the public. And so a lot of people who don't really know a lot of Jewish people get the wrong idea about Jews. They think that smoking pot and having these outrageous parties is part of the Jewish culture, and it's definitely not part of my Jewish culture and part of the mainstream Jewish culture. And so I think that Drake's Judaism, while it's great that he's embracing it, I think that he represents a tiny fraction of Jews.
I think a lot of people at my school don't really see me as a weed-smoking person at my bar mitzvah service. Drake did get a lot of backlash on that video for portraying Jewish beliefs like that, but people can pick out what was there from the hip-hop industry and not from Judaism.
And it goes along with what you said. Every Jew is different. Every Jew has different culture. And yes, I said that I don't particularly agree that it's right to be like portraying Judaism in that way. But I mean, he's a Jew. He was bar mitzvah. There is a viral video going around of footage from his actual bar mitzvah. And we know he's Jewish. And if this is the way he wants to be Jewish, it's not my place to tell him, change yourself. I mean, Judaism is an accepting religion, and if this is the way he chooses to live his life, it is not my place to step in and say, hey, change.
He's showing a lot of people that you don't have to be white or European to be Jewish. There are blacks who are Jewish. There are Latin American people who are Jewish. There are Asian people who are Jewish. You don't have to be white with a big nose, and you don't have to look a certain way to be Jewish. So I do think that Drake addressing the fact that he's Jewish in the media does help with that. So, the final celebrity we'll be talking about is Winona Ryder, who is Russian and Romanian and is Jewish through her father. Now, many of her relatives, unfortunately, including her great-grandparents, died in the Holocaust. She accused Mel Gibson of making an anti-Semitic comment, according to the JC.com, where he called her an oven dodger at a Hollywood party, referring to the gas chambers that were used in many concentration camps to kill Jews. And can I just say, if someone said that to me, I would stand up the second it happened. No one should allow that kind of behavior.
Oh my God.
Nice job, Winona.
We live in a world where discrimination most of the time isn't tolerated. I mean, if somebody says something to you, you stick up for yourself, and that's the norm. And I think that it's particularly disgusting that men and women in Hollywood tend to discriminate against people of a certain religion or a certain race. And this goes a long way that a famous actress, Winona Ryder, who has been in so many things, Stranger Things most recently, can stick up for herself and say, like, no, that's not okay. And Mel Gibson, this is not his first time being anti-Semitic, nor his last time. But, like, I think it's good that she stuck up for herself.
And that's something that you guys listening can do in your everyday life. Stick up for your culture and your religion, because it's a very important thing. If someone makes those kinds of jokes or comments, just know that it's not okay, and know that you have every right to stand up and say it's wrong.
As you can see, Jews can take all sorts of shapes and sizes and races and sexes, especially throughout Hollywood. Singers and actors alike are embracing their religion and heritage and sharing their unique Jewish history with the world, just like you. Don't forget to check out other episodes of Shin Before Sin. Give this video a like and comment down below any Jewish celebrities that you know of that we may not have mentioned. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you next time on Shin Before Sin.